Day two in the American Sniper murder trial, an emotional beginning yesterday as Chris Kyle's widow took the witness stand against the man who killed him 2 years ago. Taya Kyle struggled to hold back her tears as she recalled the day her husband and his friend were killed at a Texas gun range. Anna Yum joins us, former prosecutor, and Evangeline Gomez is a criminal defense attorney who joins us as well. Anna, let me begin with you. You know, one of the things that you learn as a lawyer, I suppose, is to put your best foot forward, to begin with an emotional impact. And they certainly did that yesterday with the prosecution and the widow. In a close case, can that really make a difference?
You know, I think it really could. I think Taya was the defense attorney's worst nightmare. She was likable, she was charming, and she was sympathetic. And jurors are instructed not to deliberate based upon sympathy or prejudice. But at the same time, jurors are human. They're not robots. And of course, they're going to take their own life experiences and common sense when they go in the deliberation room. Presumably 10 of those women, there's mothers there, there's wives there. So of course, they would feel compelled by her testimony and be swayed in some fashion.
Evangeline, the defense here is insanity. That is to say, under the law, that he had a mental disease or defect so severe he didn't know right from wrong. Well, let me put up on the screen. Here is his alleged confession, Eddie Ray Routh's confession to a Texas Ranger hours after the shooting. Ranger, question: you know what you did is wrong, right? Routh: yes, sir. Now, it's a little unclear whether the judge is going to allow this as evidence, but if he does, how important is that own admission by the accused that he was sane?
Well, he didn't actually elaborate as to what he thought was wrong, so you can expect his defense attorney to hone in on it. But something else his defense attorney is actually going to bring out is there were a lot of psychiatric episodes that he stated in his opening argument. In 2011, 2012, he was taken to a psychiatric hospital in Dallas when he had threatened people, he had threatened to kill them, he had threatened to kill himself. And the police responded to these events. But what's interesting is that they didn't arrest him and they didn't take him to jail. And you can expect his attorney to say, you see, he didn't understand what he was doing was wrong, because in the past, when he acted out in these psychiatric episodes, he wasn't taken to jail.
Well, the other thing is, you know, the defense will say to the jury, look, an insane person cannot affirm his own sanity. That in itself is insane. But I want to put something else up on the screen, and Anna, get your reaction to this. Now, apparently this is the text message that Chris Kyle sent to Chad Littlefield literally just before the shooting, referring to the defendant, quote, "This dude is straight up nuts." Now, of course, that's not a clinical diagnosis, that's Anna, but it's relevant, and is it important?
Well, that's exactly right. Chris Kyle was a decorated Navy SEAL. He was not a psychiatrist. He was not a doctor, and he's in no condition to be able to ascertain Eddie Ray Routh's mental state at the time. And let's not forget the fact that Chris Kyle's not on trial here. He's the victim. His decision-making should not be the focus of this trial. The prosecutor needs to bring back the jury and focus on Eddie Ray Routh's decision-making, and that he started to open fire on these two men. He stole Chris Kyle's truck. He told his sister that he was going to flee to Oklahoma, and then he fled from the police when they were trying to question him.
Flight is consciousness of guilt. It's also a recognition that the accused knows right from wrong. But there's something else here. So Routh flees immediately after the shooting to his sister's house, and she described him to police as, quote, out of his mind, talking about imaginary objects and countenances. That's going to help the accused, isn't it, Evangeline?
It's going to help the accused, but you can expect the prosecutor to say, look, this is somebody who stated that he had used marijuana laced with formaldehyde and other drugs earlier that morning. He made a choice to use those drugs. And he also took whiskey. So that was the root of these delusions and this paranoia. The defense is going to say that's not the situation. He may have self-medicated, but he was self-medicating because he was suffering from these various mental illnesses.
It's a long shot for the defendant. I mean, just statistically, I checked with the National Institute of Health. Insanity defense succeeds less than 1% of the
That's
time
absolutely
it's
right.
used. Got to go. Anna Yum, Evangeline Gomez, good to see you both.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Have a great day.